Did you ever? A penis? did you ever? Did you ever, in your wildest ever, a single penis? Or even multiple penises? Oh boy, howdy. If I had £1 for every time I'd penis to penis, I'd be one penisy penis. Boy hecking howdy heck to the howdy. My name's Howdy Dowdy. Howdy Dowdy. The Dowdy Wowdy. Bo Bowdy. Off to a good start already. I got a boo-boo. I wouldn't call it a paper cut. It was a cardboard cut. I was shifting a box of books, relatively heavy, and a bit of a card on the side went into my finger, like real deep, real slow as well. I felt it like go in. I could feel the card underneath my skin going, and it hurts a lot. So now I'm wearing big silly plaster while I draw, for added aesthetic value. Only here at Ewan's Ewan Podcast. I think I might rebrand again to like the Ewan Untitled Podcast or something, because I don't know what I'm doing with. That's always been an issue, and people have made fun of me for it, for like having really shitty names for things. Like I draw really well. Obviously, I draw brilliantly, fucking amazing. But when it comes to naming things, I maybe lack a little creativity. Because all of like my shit is like Ewan. My original Instagram, I wanted it to just be Ewan. But still, there's someone who has the account name Ewan, and they're doing nothing with it. There's not a person attached to it. They're not using it. Like, it doesn't have a profile picture or anything. But they've got the name. So my first one was Ewan_Ewan, just because my YouTube is Ewan. My Patreon is Ewan. Like, wow, so creative with your name. But at the same time, you've got to be able to find Ewan. You've got to know who you're looking for as an artist or whatever. So, but then like Gun Viking, like, oh wow, how did you come up with that one, Ewan? You creative mastermind, you. Oh, you big sweaty sausage. Ah, a swift death upon you and your people. Ooh. So, when it comes to naming a podcast series or whatever, it's like, well, just call it the Ewan Bo Bluin podcast, the Ewan Drawing Bazooin podcast. I don't know. Who really cares? The content is the thing. See, branding and stuff is valid to a degree. But ultimately, I say the content is the thing as if this is fucking the best, most worthwhile content. Although, because I do get a bit down about it, like my videos and stuff, they get not many views. They get like a couple 100, 300 views or so. Maybe a few more here or there, but that's about it. A couple of my videos have 1,000 views over a period of time, which is it's whatever. And I do get a bit down about that because, sometimes I put real effort into things and it gets a few hundred views and then it's forgotten about. But then I will get comments saying, oh, yes, a new podcast. I watch these every week. They're so good. I watch them while I draw, while I do this, do that. And that's really cool to see that, because you can create stuff and you can not care about people's opinions of it to a degree, but you know, especially currently, like these days, I make artwork for people to see. You know, it's very cool to make artwork for yourself, which I try to do, but I don't really have the time to do these days. But when you're making artwork for people to see, the reaction to it is a part of that, isn't it? So, um, yeah, when people tell me they look forward to my videos, they watch them and enjoy them, it's really good because drawings, like, if people like my drawings, without sounding like too much of a dick, it kind of goes without saying because it's like that's the thing. Ewan, my identity basically is my drawings. So if you're on my Instagram page, it's because of my drawings. So that's sort of a given. I don't really. I love not every, most. I love most of the comments I get. There are some silly ones, but yeah, all the comments and interaction, and when people share my work, it's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's very, very great. But it's still, regardless, it's easy to get very down about, like, you know, not likes and things necessarily, but like I say, if the videos are a bit different from like what I'd normally do. So when I put real effort into it and they don't really get anything back, it's a bit of like, oh well, maybe I won't bother. But I heard it somewhere, and I'm going to now appropriate it. As my own thing. Someone said, picture every like view you get on a video. For instance, if it's likes on a picture or, you know, views on a video, whatever it is. For the sake of argument, we'll say views on a video for now. Picture every one of those views as a person, and all those people are in one room. So picture everyone who's watched your video, picture all of those people in one room. So if I have 300 people who've watched one of my videos, that's quite a lot of people. Like, I distinctly remember my old school had like 300 students in it. That was on average about 300 students at any given time. So when, you know, we were all in the hall for an assembly, give or take, that was about 300 students, 300 people in one room. So that's like an entire school of people watching my videos. And, you know, maybe not all of them watch them all the way through. Maybe, you know, there might even be several people who watch it more than once. I don't know. But I think that's a really good way of thinking about it is, yeah, it might not be, you know, I don't have hundreds of thousands of views. I'm not making money off of, you know, video views or whatever. But if I can have a hall, a gymnasium full of people basically watching my content, then that's pretty good. So there you go. You know, for all the negative, self-hating, self-deprecation, it's pudding. That's a Spaced reference. Yeah, there's some positive stuff I can say about some shit. I don't know. What the bloody hell are you drawing, you? And that's weird. That's a weird concoction you've got there. Is that Leatherface with women's tits? That's a bit of a weird one. My friend Thomas, Tom's arse, Thomas, Tom Blackford, I guess you could say fellow crew member of the NSFW crew. I'm trying to do more work with regards to the NSFW crew because I've not been able to, you know, hang out with him to paint much because of the virus and such, and money and other things. So, you know, trying to do more work as best we can from a distance. Do you know the Exquisite Corpse game? It's called Exquisite Corpse. It has other names, but I think its official title is Exquisite Corpse, where you get a piece of paper, one person like draws a funny head and then folds it over and gives it to the next person, and they draw a funny body and then fold it over and give it to the next person, and they draw funny legs, and then you open it up and it looks weird. Oh, this weird body parts. So I drew a few like random on bits of paper, random like head and legs, and then folded it, and then I drew a body and folded it. So I did a few of those, sent them to Tom for him to like fill in the gaps basically, and he did. And I'll put up, if I remember when editing this, as if I ever do, I'll put up a picture of this one, how it came out. There's two which are particularly good. I guess I'll put them both up. This one and the other one. I drew the head and the legs of this one, and then the other one I drew the body, and then Tom added other parts and like worked them into it. Yeah. So I drew chimpanzee legs and Leatherface's head from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then Tom drew titted naked lady body with a machete, with a bloodied machete, which is cool. It's pretty cool. So something I wanted to do for a while with the Exquisite Corpse game was to do some like silly drawings, but then take those silly drawings and draw them as single images, as thus. And already I'm actually really happy with how this is coming out. I quite like it. So yeah, make some cool artwork, some NSFW themed art, and it's got tits in it, so that could be considered less work safe, which is good, because that's the whole point. I think not that we'd need to have a talk, Tom and I, but I think maybe. Oh no, I was going to say we're at a difference. I think that difference is a good thing. The fact that we come at it from slightly different angles is a good thing. I think Tom is coming at it from, and rightly so, he wants to draw like really gnarly, fucked up shit that just, like makes you vomit just looking at it. And I like that and respect it, and I would very much hope to work on stuff like that with him, because it'd be very, very fun to get gross reactions to stuff. But I think my main sort of idea when approaching NSFW work, in terms of mine and Tom's output, is more grimy. I like grimy and horrible as opposed to, violent and sickening. But I don't want that to be taken as we're coming at it from different angles, so we need to talk and switch it up. We come at it from different angles, and I think with that, it's good because we're able to then combine, because that's the bloodied machete he drew. That's pretty fucked up. Naked lady, bloody machete, and then I was drawing a chimpanzee and Leatherface. So that's like kind of all of that together, I feel. So that's quite cool. A good mix of grimy filth and otherwise fuck it upness. Does everybody know what time it is? It's fucking time for an art book shit. But this isn't an art book at all, Ewan. What the shitting poo heck are you talking about? This is a graphic novel of The Punisher. Marvel Knights. The Punisher. Just The Punisher. There's an army of one. There you go. The Punisher, army of one. This is one of the first comics I bought when I was younger, and I could buy comics. I could go out into the world and just buy comics. I liked The Punisher. Not so much nowadays. I kind of like the idea of him, but yeah, I'm a bit meh about him nowadays. And then, of course, the police taking the skull as their symbol and everything. It's all very... I got this. I thought it was pretty good. At the time, on reflection, But what I did notice, and this is something I only noticed recently because of, it's a later date and I've taken in more information. Ennis and Dillon. Garth Ennis, writer, Steve Dillon, pencils. If that sounds familiar, It might be because of this. Garth Ennis, Steve Dillon. It's the exact same pairing. When was this? This was early 2000s, I believe. 2001. God damn. February 2002. Okay, 2002. 2000, so still early. This is 90 something. 95. So not 7 years difference, but so same team that did Preacher do this Punisher story. I don't really know much about the Punisher story as a whole as comic books. I thought, hey, Punisher's cool, I'll buy a Punisher book, not really knowing much about it. It's got Spider-Man in it, so that's kind of cool. And it's whatever. Then I noticed the art, and what's his name? Steve Dillon, was that? I literally Steve Dillon. He's known for having ever so slight same face syndrome, where his work's, is very much his own work. Like, you look at it and you know it's his work right away. But that's almost a bad thing, because all the people kind of look the same. He does very, very similar face shapes on all of his characters. And if there is any difference in them, there's not. He does put differences in there, but not like hugely different differences. So all of his faces look very, very similar. It's a thing. It happens. It's whatever. I'm saying a lot. I try to stop saying so much. I really prefer the look of Preacher. For one thing, the colours, it's like, the old 90s, I guess, computer colouring with like the ever so slight airbrush and stuff. To me, like that looks great. The colours and everything in that are fantastic. This, not so much. Really, really don't dig this. This looks too digital, and yeah, it's another fucking whining about digital art, but I don't know, this has some texture and some life to it, and this looks like it was made on a computer. I don't know, it's good, it's acceptable comic book art. You don't get this shit though, do you? The hand painted covers. No, you get I guess that's kind of cool, but fucking whatever. Is there covers at the back? Yeah, not many good ones there. Like photo manipulation, I guess. Not really my thing. That's probably the best one. Also, I feel that Steve Dillon's artwork suits something like Preacher more, because they're just humans. There's angels and demons and stuff, but a large portion of Preacher is people, and it's people in a diner, this guy walking down a row, it's people being people, and his drawing style suits that a bit more than it does superheroes. Especially, there was a particular series of panels. Here, like, he draws them all and they look good. They're good drawings, but like this kind of stinks. That's a tangent right there, which is like where lines sort of meet up or cross over where they really shouldn't, to make the image as impactful as they can do. Having the foot underneath the arm there is a little bit of a tangent, I feel. That's just not like that dynamic. It's a bit sort of meh. That punch doesn't look too impactful, which is a video I'm going to be working on about making art too realistic. Because if you hold yourself to realism to a degree, then you get stuff like this, which that's probably how it would look if someone got punched in the stomach. But like, It's a superhero. It should look outrageous and over the top. I mean, this is outrageous and over the top, obviously. It's the Russian. He got his head put on a new body, and he wanted tits. Whatever. And then this is like pretty weak. Whack. I think that's too zoomed in, maybe, and it's just. And then this is pretty weak. There's no movement in that arm. There's this line here and this line here. There's no move. That looks like an arm just held up. Like it's drawn well, the muscles and lines and stuff, but it's just arm. Like there's no, and it's just the arm. Like you need to show his whole body, like throwing Spider-Man. You need to see his whole body swinging, and that's. I feel this will be in other videos I'll mention. It's often you've got to pick where to draw in an action. You've got to pick which part of it to draw. So it's often, I find, best to draw the action about to happen or the action having just happened. So either you see him swinging Spider-Man, knowing he's about to fucking hit the deck, or you show Spider-Man like having just been smacked into the ground. But here, showing him smacking, it's sort of like, it's not even drawn that well. It's pretty weak here. And this is me critiquing this with one portion of a comic book that I found to be not that great. It just, I don't feel Steve Dillon's work suits dynamic superhero action as much as it does slightly more grounded, but still at portions very fucked up and outrageous. Stuff like Preacher really, really works with his art style. Stuff like this, not so much. Anyway, that was the introduction, because I've been looking a lot more lately into silent comics, where the story is told entirely through images with no dialogue. You have words here and there, maybe sound effect, or writing in the background, so they're not wordless. Words exist, but they're told without dialogue. None of this. This has one in. I completely forgot about it until recently. I didn't even notice it when I first read this comic. I just, this is the last story in the comic. I flipped through and I went, oh, that's quite good. And then I might have gone back to it like a couple of weeks later, be like, wait, did that not have any words? Wow, that's amazing. And now I've been looking specifically for comics like this. It just popped into my head like, oh shit, in that one Punisher comic I had, there was fucking one of those. So that's quite cool. It's not an over-the-top superhero story, so it works quite well with Steve Dillon's art. So we'll go through it quickly. I mean, this isn't story time or anything, but whatever. A couple of kids playing basketball. Yo, what the fuck's going on? Who's this son of a bitch? Obviously, it's the fucking Punisher. That's good storytelling. He's walking into this place. You see the window, and then you see a guy fly out the window. Guy's getting shot in the head, shot in the stomach. Guy's getting his gun. He's like, shit, you fucking take care of him. And this is good storytelling as well, where he's running out the exit, obviously, and he's saying, you stay here and take care of him. That's being said without any words. All in the pictures. That's very, very good. And then he's like, okay, I'm going to get this sucker. Turns around, he's like, yeah, bitch. Oh, okay, I've got a gun in my face. Fantastic. And then the Punisher shoots him twice. Quite cool. Good splash panel. Run. He's obviously the main guy he's after, I guess. Oh no, he's getting away. He shoots through the back window. Oh, he's gonna get him. He's planning. He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you, sucker. I'm gonna get you. So yeah, there is, for me, in a silent comic, having stuff like this is a little bit of a, not a crutch, but like a bit of a cop out almost. So mobster slain, Punisher suspected, gang boss goes into hiding. So that's like telling you the story, which it shouldn't. You shouldn't have to put shit like this in. You should just be able to tell the story and figure it out. But it's in there. Whatever. He's in a bar. Sees this guy walk in. He's talking to these guys. He's like, this guy knows something. So he follows him in. I love this sequence actually. I remember really loving this when I first read it. So the guy's at the urinal, sees the knife, and then he's down here, and he's just like, oh fuck, sweating. Holds up the picture of the leader, and then he's like, where the fuck is he? Tells him he's at this place at this time. He goes into this place at this time, into the warehouse. Oh no, there's a bomb. A very cartoony, literally like, what, 9, 10 sticks of dynamite with a timer attached. That's like, really? Dynamite? Is this the Looney Tunes? What's going on? He runs, jumps as it blows up out the window. Oh, that guy fucking lied to me. What a prick. Oh. So he tracks the guy down, obviously, while he's playing cards. Oh shit. Blammo! Shot in the stomach. The cards falling down. Blood. Where the fuck is he? He's walking down the street. Oh, there's those two kids from before. They're buying drugs from this prick. What's going on? So he goes up to the drug dealer. Fucks him up. Sees the kids with their drugs. Pulls drugs on the ground while they run off. A warehouse or something, I guess. This guy, these guys, this guy. Who's that guy? He's the mob boss. He shot him in the fucking head. Look up there. It's the Punisher. The Punisher. That was really weak. Sorry. The Punisher. My voice is shit today. Sorry. How embarrassing. I can't even do my deep voice. The Punisher. Lulu gets home, I guess. Yeah, that was a job well done, me. Looking out the window. Oh no, what's going on? This kid's got arrested. What's going on? That's the kid from before. Being arrested. Black kid got shot, which is, of course the policeman shot the black kid. That's how it goes, isn't it? I'm not entirely sure if there's supposed to be a deeper meaning to the ending. I guess the kid had a gun. But like, maybe the point is that while he was busy tracking down this mob boss, he had a chance to really sort out something here but missed it. And then because of that, the kid died. I don't know if that's the point of it, but... Or maybe there isn't a point to it. Maybe it just is what it is. But this sequence is quite a serious note to end on if there's no real meaning to it. Like, if there's no real meaning to it, you can end on fucking the Punisher sat at home in a Hawaiian shirt and shorts with a martini or something. Like, or a pina colada, I guess, would be more apropos. But something like this seems like it would mean something. So, fucking... I don't know. It's a silent comic, and I like those. I think I'm not trying to currently. I've got a few, but I think I will try to build like a small catalogue or library of silent comics. There's Gone, the little dinosaur comic I've shown at one point. I swear I had another one somewhere. There's bound to be like some Judge Dredd shit. Large portions of Gun Viking are either silent or may as well be. Yeah, there's a few out there. There's some I don't have, like Arzak by Mobius is a pretty famous one. Shit like that. Oh, I don't know, whatever. Hands are so tricksy to draw. And to draw them properly. I can draw hands, but then to draw hands well that look as they should look. I guess that's why they call it art and not just some shit that any old sucker can do. Sucker. As if I ever use that word, ever. It's a fucking wrestling term, isn't it? Listen here, sucker. Me and you, Sunday night at SummerSlam. Oh, yeah, all right. Who the fuck are you trying to be? Sucker. Jesus. I don't know if I've ever used that word, like, legitimately in my life. Sucker. That's actually pretty funny. What the hell did I just use that word? That's silliness. I have a vague idea how to draw machetes. It's one of those things I could fix with 6 seconds of Googling. But fuck that. Ugh, he wants to do research. What, am I at fucking school or something? Jesus farting Christ. It's quite a delicate area of the body in terms of drawing. It's very easy to get wrong. Hips and such, like I think I just screwed it up. But that's something I've learned to get a little bit better at with drawing all the nudes that I draw. So there you go. There is reason for me drawing all those nudes. They're studies. Yeah. I'm studying the body. The delicious, yummy, meaty bodies. These are chimpanzee legs, so they're just fur. Anyway, like a happy trail there. To mix in, blend in with the furry leggy legs. Well, this isn't going to be an interesting part of the drawing, is it? So maybe I'll say fuck it on that bit for now. So what's been up with ewan lately? Oh, who cares? Do you want to see something mildly interesting? Vaguely, potentially, possibly slightly interesting? No? Oh, fair enough. I'll leave it there. Oh! Only joking, you bastards. This is my notes book. Notice. Oh, shall I zoom out a little? Notes, it's like a post-it note. One of these bad boys. On the and it says, so you know how I keep these notes around with notes on for ideas for drawings, for videos and such things. What I thought I might do is collect them all in a book, because it could be quite cool to look through at a later date when I've forgotten all of this and go, oh, remember that. So that's what I've been doing. So Monkey Tree Penis, that was that little comic I did of like a monkey hanging out of a tree by its tail, and then the exact same like silhouette, but it's a man hanging out of a tree by his penis. Machine comic, Bugs on Screen comic. I think I did the machine comic. That was like the guy drawing and then he slowly turns into like a printer. Bugs on Screen comic. Oh, that was where I smushed a bug on my phone screen, and then literally for like a nanosecond, a fraction of a second, the thought was in my head, oh, screenshot that so I can show it to people. But it was a bug like on my screen. It wasn't something I could screenshot. So that was maybe make a comic based on Asterix and Obelisk, draw them. Oh, I missed a page. What a fucking idiot. Some rap lyrics that I will illustrate. Rap lyrics specifically about money being shit. Worry about a salary, creative casualty. That's Del, the funky Homo sapien. It ain't all about the dollar bill. You could be dead broke and be a scholar still. That's MF Doom. A lot of blood to let, peace to make, fuck a check. That's Earl Sweatshirt. Very good. But trying to come up with illustrations for those is harder than I thought it might be at first. Don't be a machine, or do. I think that's just the machine comic, is that Dreams of Bugs. I did that one recently. Um, my Dreams of Bugs comic. Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, remake by Ewan. As an idea for a video where I remake that Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, but I play every character. Doll's House, I was going to draw like a funny, weird Doll's House illustration. Too realistic, as mentioned before. Don't know what that is. How Not to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. That's the book that I'm going to... Yeah. Stages of Decay. A drawing showing stages of decay of something. Space Goblin, that's the comic I did. Little pumpkin with a nose. I think that was going to be like a Halloween drawing I'd do. Baby Skateboard, a classic with little hairs attached. That's cool. Trick or Treaters, I thought that could be a fun illustration. Draw some trick or treaters, but like, it's maybe a bit cliche, but like each trick or treater is actually a monster. Like draw like a kid with a sheet over him, and he's got arms and legs and stuff. But then maybe you can, if you look closely, you see the space between the bottom of his trousers and his shoes. There's no ankle. There's just space. Yeah. So he looks like just a little kid. He's got like a little, thing for candy to go in. And then you see his legs with his trousers or pants. And then no ankles because he's actually a ghost. And then shoes with no feet in them. That's sort of, I don't know, whatever. Dreams about bugs. Oh, the same. I do have a lot of dreams like that. Like that's based on an actual thing. Of like, it's almost a waking dream where I get it sometimes. I'll go into my kitchen, like I'm awake and I'll go into my kitchen, but I'm so prepared to open my door and the entire thing just be full of like swarming insects. It's not a fear, it's just like a thing that's in my the top of my spine. It's just there going, oh, what if there's fucking just bugs everywhere? Clitoris doesn't exist. It's an idea for a thing. 10 hours in a single character as well as the craft as a whole. Something. Gun Viking Death Dealer. That's an idea I might work on. Sponsored by Pure Aggression. An idea for a sponsor video. Keep Going series. Be a little video series I might work on. Cheech Wizard crayon drawing. Drawing of Cheech Wizard with crayons. Some butts. So yeah, not a lot of those. I usually throw them all away, which is a shame, all my post-it notes. So I'm going to start hanging on to them and build like a little collection of like that. Because obviously a lot of them never get, like all the ideas I have never come to fruition or whatever. I can't get around to drawing all the ideas. Well, maybe I can, but I just don't. But it'd be good to save them because then I might, look back on it and go, actually, I could do that like right now. And then I do get around to them that I might not have otherwise. Or something like that. I don't fucking know. Hands. Where's your hands? There's your hands. And that's how we play handy hands. My apologies for the Rick and Morty reference, but whatever. I'm not actually sorry. I'm just. Is it uncool to like Rick and Morty now because of the whole Pickle Rick debacle and the Szechuan sourced thing? I feel like it was cool to like Rick and Morty for a little while, and maybe these days it's not quite as cool. There's a bug flying around. Fucking hell, I told you they're everywhere. I can't... They're just... I'm going to feel them on me later. I'll be in my bed and I'll just feel like there's bugs all over me. God damn it. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little fly that keeps fucking flying around. God damn it. I need to get some bug spray. Bugs happen, obviously, like especially in the summer, you've got your windows open and then there's like bugs on your food and your garbage and whatever. My house isn't just infested with bugs. There's no reason for me to be like, oh, this again. Just saying. Fucking bugs, man. Of course, the comic I did was funny because had Bugs Bunny in it and he had a boner. So that was funny. That is funny. Shall I attempt to teach something while I'm drawing, or shall I just draw? It doesn't always have to be a learning experience, does it? It can just be a hang out and draw experience. Which is something, is sort of missing from my life currently. Where each one of my drawings has to mean something. It has to be for a reason. Not mean something, but it's got to be like, it's got to make money. It's got to be for a book or for a commission or something. I can't just draw for the sake of drawing. Well, I can, but like, as I'm drawing, just for the sake of drawing, I'm constantly aware that like, I've got commissions I should be doing. I've got comic book pages I should be doing. I've got this and I got that. Oh, it just never ends. We're born into slavery. I mean, maybe not slavery, but I can hear people above me. I think there's people like working on the roof or something. And my apartment is on the top floor. So earlier on, they were banging for 2 hours. And normally I don't care about that sort of thing. I don't give a shit about like banging and noise and stuff. It's just like, yeah, it happens. But I started to get a headache. I was like, wow, this is fucking relentless. That's relevant. Well, I guess it is relevant because it's me and it's my podcast. So if something's affecting me, I'm gonna fucking talk about it. I will finish this drawing because I'm really quite happy with it. Actually, I don't know what you guys think, but I'm pretty happy with this as it goes. I quite like it. It's pretty good. The nice hangy tits. I like a nice hangy tit. Like there's good things to be said about like, small perky tits, large voluptuous tits. I prefer tits not to be firm. I know they do, they can be firm naturally. Generally, the fake ones have a bit more firmness to them. But I do prefer a nice squishy breast. Not that I have much choice. It's not like I have fucking a parade of breasts to choose from. But there is something nice about a nice hangy, like a heavy, hangy tit.